はい、おはようございます。OL です。今ね、朝の7時59分、日本時間月曜日です。私もね、ちょっと仕事に行かないといけないんですが、ちょっとね、トランプのマディソンスクエアガーデンでのラリーがね、始まってるので、一緒に、ライブ放送を見ていこうと思います。これね、トランプの、X アカウントでライブやってます。今270万人がね、ここで見てますよ。トランプのページでちょっと音声出しましょうか。今ね、壇上で演談しているこれね、トランプのアドバイザーになったカンター・フィッツジェラルドのCEO なんですよ。彼は、おイーロン・マスクです。ドウジのイーロン・マスクがGreatest capitalist in the history of the United States of America イーロン・マスクいやー出た来ましたね。あれ、音声が。おいおいおい、音声出せ。どうした一番いいとこで、トラブルですね、音声トラブル。どういうこと吠えてますね。どうしたんでしょうかこれ、私の問題ですか出た。コーファウンダーって言ってましたね、ドッジの。ディパートメント。マガ貼ってきてます、黒の。エナジー、インクレディブル。MSG ですからね。
What a great group of people. All right, I've only got one question for you, and then I'm getting out of here because this is your stage. But we set up Doge. How much do you think we can rip out this wasted $6.5 trillion Harris Biden budget? Well, I think we can do at least $2 trillion. Yeah!
$2 trillion, yeah!
Yes. $2 trillion.
$2 trillion.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're being taxed. All government spending is taxation. So whether it's direct taxation or all government spending, it either becomes inflation or it's direct taxation.
そういうことです。
Your money is being wasted, and the Department of Government Efficiency
やっぱね、
is going to
小さい政府なんですよ。ちょっとすいませんね。イーロン・マスクの演説にかぶせて。
We're going to get the government off your back and out of your pocketbook.
そうですよ。やっぱね、小さい政府。ガバメントがやることはタクセーションなんですよね。それで無駄。インフレーションの原因。
The future is gonna be amazing!
Amazing! Future is gonna be amazing! Yeah! イーロン・マスク。イーロン、イーロン、イーロン、イーロン、イーロン、イーロン、イーロン。
You guys are awesome.
You guys are awesome.
This is like...
Yeah! Wow! イーロン・マスクはハイになってますね。そりゃそうでしょう。MSG で。この。
This is the kind of positive energy
that
America is all about.
Yeah! このポジティブエネルギーがアメリカだと。
Yeah. USA!
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 USA! Yes!
イーロンもハイになってますね。
Now, I have something I want to ask you to do, though. Because obviously, we're somewhat preaching to the converted in this stadium. But there's a lot of people out there who need to vote for President Trump. Okay?
そう、もちろん。
So, this is a real battle. This is a real election
Real
battle.
battle,
So
election
you
battle.
need to get friends and family
Friends
to
and family.
vote. Make sure they vote early.
Vote
This is
early.
important. We're going to be putting up a scorecard, okay? an early vote scorecard, state by state, county by county. What is the scorecard? Vote early, vote now.
共和党の支持者は伝統的に期日前しないですかね、投票日に。促してます。
The margin of victory so big
Margin of victory so
that
big.
You know what? Can't happen.
Can't happen. 今トランプの真似したでしょ。いいな。
Massive, overwhelming
Massive,
sweep
overwhelming
of every
sweep
swing state,
of
and
everything
even some of the
state.
states that aren't people don't think are swing states.
どこ？ニューヨーク？
Massive crushing victory.
Massive
Get
crushing
everyone,
victory.
friends, family, people on the street, put the
バー
signs
ジニア
up,
も
put
取
the
る。
hat on. Let's go.
ニュージャージーも Let's go! Yeah! Dream big again と一緒に出てますね。Dream big again。これ MSG での
It is
標
my
語です。
honor to introduce
Introduce
the first lady,
First
Melania
Lady
Trump.
メラニア・トランプ First Lady 見てくださいこの豪華リレーイーロン・マスクからメラニアにメラニア予定に出てませんでしたよねこれサプライズですかついにメラニア・トランプイーロン・マスク簡潔にさっきちょっと今、ビュー300万人増えました。310万人どんどん増えてます、ビュー。ライブアカウント、ライブでのビューね。さっきイーロン・マスクを紹介したのは、カンタフィスジャーツの経営者で、9-11の時、これニューヨークですね、ツインタワーで、社員がもうみんな死んだ。それを立て直した男、トランプの今、アドバイザーに就任してます。親友です。出た、メラニア。今日もゴージャスなこのドレス。見てください。メラニア・トランプ。手挙げてます。夫、ドナルドがね、2度にわたって自分の子供のパパが暗殺未遂されて、彼女ね、今回本も出しました。感動してますね。ちょっと音声どこに音声。大丈夫かよしよっしゃ。聞いた
Good evening, New York
Good
City.
evening, New York. アクセントいいですよね。彼女の。
Hello, Madison Square Garden.
Hello, Madison Square Garden.
Our hometown.
Our
Where
hometown.
architectural symbols of strength, courage, and unity
そうですよ
create
ね。
a canvas for the world's undisputed capital of industry.
世界のね、キャピタルです。
Where titans of finance, fashion, and entertainment convene among an iconic range of superior design, structures, and artistic accomplishments.
彼女をね、ニューヨークにやってきたですね。アメリカンドリームを
And American ingenuity
求め
blossoms
て。
among determined citizens who race across city streets and between offices, striving for success. It is you who are the heartbeat of this great metropolis.
Yeah.
It is you who are the pulse of this America. Yet, New York City is unforgiving. In fact, our lives are complicated even during the best of times. And sadly, today, a declining quality of life coupled with economic instability makes it difficult for business to thrive. Love you too.
ちょっと待ってください。なんか私の今チャットを確認。ちょっと頭が切れてますね。ちょっとね、こっちに、こう、どうしたらいいんでしょう。ちょっと修正しますね。メラニア、 ちょっと私のこれ今思って、こうすればいいんですか？こうすればいいですね。はい、すいません。メラニアの顔が消えてました。はい、これで大丈夫ですか？音声出しましょう。
For generations, this town has produced America's most fearless leaders, whose mark changed the course of the world. New York City and America needs their magic back. A country of tomorrow that will shape our future and reset expectations for the generations.
そうです。
Envision a wonderful America where the seeds of security, prosperity, and health are sown once again for benefit of our families.
340万人増えてますよ。スピーチね、ちゃんとこれ読んでますけど、ちゃんと綺麗な文章です。
That builds on American greatness. Let's seize this moment and create a country for tomorrow.
Create a country tomorrow.
That we
Future we deserve.
And now, please welcome Commander-in-Chief, my husband,
President Donald Trump! いやー！イーロンからメラニア、メラニカからマイワイフ、チーフ、コマンダーインチーフ。出た DJT。トランプの登場曲です。あ、これ何歌ってるんですか彼？ライブで歌ってますよ。マディソンスクエアガーデンで。彼だったんですか？彼の声なんですか？出たー。この愛国心を煽る歌。おー、キスしてますよ。God bless the USA。What a moment ですよね。すごいですね。ちょっと音楽を聴いてこの演出、手を振ってね、メラニアトランプ指さして何かメラニアに語ってます。握手してます。あ、トランプ踊ってますよ。トランプ。この歌ちょっと私もダウンロードしましょうか。買わないといけないですねこれ。この愛国心を煽る歌。ちょっとフルバージョンで MSG ですからね。やっぱりいい演出ですよね。いやー すごいですね。お、コマンダー1 FD 再敬礼。コマンダー1 FD 敬礼しました。USA 見てください、このロー。もう割れんばかりの。さあ、ちょっとトランプの演説聞きましょう。会場の皆さん。よし。まずメラニアが壇上から去ります。さてトランプ。わー。すごいですね。皆さん、私たちは今歴史を見てます。証言者になりますよ、歴史の。すいませんね、ちょっと私口挟んで、私の解説で恐縮ですが。Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much to a very popular former First Lady, hopefully First Lady again.
Hopefully じゃないです。間違いなくなりますよ。
And I just want to say a very big hello to a special place, New York, and to an incredible arena, Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden. Incredible arena ですよね。
And then we have all of the people that could fill it up 10 times. You take a look at outside what's going on all the way down to the river. The beautiful,
そうですか。
beautiful
外
Hudson
もね、
River.
リバーまで。
They're outside watching this now at levels that nobody's ever seen before. They've never had it. And I want to thank Jim Dolan. He's been incredible. He's been just
ね、この
incredible. The job they've done.
会場だけでないですかね。外にも。
Job they've done.
Job they done。スタッフ
But
に
I'm
ね。
thrilled to be
感謝し
back
ま
in the
す。
city I love and
バックインシ
thousands
ティ。
of proud, hard-working
もともとトランプの
American
街だったんで
patriots
す
here
よ。
with me.
追い出
We're
され
all
ましたけど。
together. We've always been together. And I'd like to begin by asking a very simple question.
シンプルクエスチョン。
Are you better off now than you
Are you
were
better off
4 years
now?
ago?
4 years ago? 4年前と今とどっちが良かったか。このシンプルクエスチョンだけ。
I'm here today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote in this election, I will end inflation. I will stop the invasion of criminals
Stop
coming into our
inflation.
country.
Stop invasion.
And I will bring back the
Bring back
American dream. We need the
American
American dream
dream.
to come back home. Our country will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before.
いやー。見てください。この
This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of gross incompetence and failure, or whether we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country.
そう、このからの4年間は歴史で最
We will
高の4年
achieve
間を。
success that no one can imagine. We will have the strongest economy, the most secure borders, the safest cities, the most powerful military, the best trade deals, and we will dominate the frontiers of science, medicine, business, technology, and space.
そうです。
And I'm asking you to be excited about the future.
I'm asking you to be excited ですよ。みんな
I'm。asking you to dream
Excited.
big again. We're going to dream big again. We haven't been dreaming big at all. This will be America's new golden age.
New Golden Age.
It's going to happen quickly, too.
It's
very
gonna happen quickly too. もうあと
Every
11月
problem
5日で
facing
ね。
us can be solved, but now the fate of our nation is in your hands. Next Tuesday, you have to stand up and you have to tell Kamala Harris
You
that
are
you've done a
fired.
terrible job. That crooked Joe Biden has done a terrible job. You've destroyed
ブ
our
ーですよ
country.
ね。
We're not going to take it anymore. Kamala,
Kamala,
you're fired.
you're
Get out.
fired.
Get
Get
out.
out.
Fired.
You fired. トランプの決め台詞また出ました。
Earlier Early voting is underway in every swing state, and we are setting all-time records. They're voting. I tell you what.
I tell you what.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't talk about it. 何
But we have to keep it going. You
Keep
got to
it
get out and
going.
vote.
Gotta get
You just
out and
have to
vote.
get out.
Get out. アーリーボーティングがね、今
And,
歴史的に
who would
共
have
和
thought
党
this was going to happen? We're
増え
leading
てま
in
すから
every
ね。
swing state.
We're leading in every state. すべてのバツステートでリードしてます、今。トランプ。
But it doesn't mean a thing. It
But
only
it doesn't
means
mean
how are we
anything.
doing at the end. So
そう。
we have
最
9
終日が一
days
番
from
大
now.
最後が
And
大
we're
事で
going
すか
to
らね、結
defeat
果が。
Kamala Harris, and we're going to win back the beautiful White House.
いや
And we're going to make America
America
great
great
again.
again.
And it's going to happen fast.
もうすぐですよ。もうすぐでホワイトハウス奪回です。
Thank you.
サンキュー、サンキュー、サンキュー。ちょっと私もうね、トランプになりきってます。
In less than 4 years, Kamala Harris has shattered our middle class. She cast the deciding votes that launched the worst inflation
そうですよ、
in
カ
the
マラ・ハ
history
リ
of
スが
our
ね、
country. She
タイ
cost
ブレ
the
ーカーのボート
typical
しますから全
American
部。
family over $3,000 in a short period, but over $30,000 over the last 3 years. She killed 50,000 manufacturing jobs this year alone.
今年だけでも50,000マニュファクチャージョブ
Now
殺したって
Kamala
カマラ・
wants
ハ
to
リス。
raise the typical family taxes by nearly $3,000 a year.
3000ドル年間増税するって普通の
33%
家
tax
庭に。
hike on all domestic production. If Kamala Harris
国内
gets
生産も
4
ね
more years,
どんどんなくなっていきますよ。
our economy can never recover.
このままとね、アメリカ経済は
If I win,
回
we
復
will
しないと
quickly
決して
build the greatest economy in the history of the world.
トランプはね、グレーテストエコノミーに歴史で
Which is what we had
作ると
in。our last term.
過去
We
4
will
年
rapidly
前の4
defeat
年間はね、
inflation
それ
and
実
we
際やっただ
will
と。
very simply make America affordable again.
Affordable
We're going to make
again.
it affordable.
あ、ほんだぼあげ。ね、インフレ抑えて、
I will
賃金上昇
massively
させ、
cut taxes for workers and
税
small
金を
businesses,
蹴り
and we will
へ
have
削り、
no tax on tips,
No tax on tips、チップタックスなし、
no tax on overtime,
No tax on overtime、
no
残業な
tax
し、
on
何、インカム
social
ソーシャル
security
セキュリテ
benefits
ィ、
for
ベネ
our
フィッツ
seniors.
にもタックスなし、この3つ、No tax
And I'm announcing
tips.
a new policy
New
today
policy.
that I will
Inflate.
support a tax credit for
Tax
family
credit.
caregivers who take care
お
of
ー、タ
a
ッ
parent
クス
or
ク
a
レディ
loved one.
ット
It's
で
about time that they were recognized, right?
トランプ水を出し
They add so much to our country and are never spoken of, ever, 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 but they're going to be spoken of now. Thank you all very much. I'll also make interest on car loans fully tax deductible.
金利もね
But only
自動車
for
ローンもさ
cars
アフォーダ
made
ブル
in
すると。い
America.
や
Have to be made in America. And we will achieve energy independence.
ー、エネルギーインディペンデン
And
ス、
we will do something we want it so badly. We're going to do something. You know what we're going to do?
ドリル
Front row
ベイビー
Joes?
ドリル。
You know, I got front row Joes here. I got the ladies from North Carolina, number 249. This is the 200, and you look so beautiful. We have a lot of people, they followed us, but we're going to do something. The ladies can tell you what we're going to do. We're going to drill a baby
ベイビ
drill.
ードリル、ドリルベイビードリル。
And I will terminate the Green New
ターミ
Scam,
ネート、ニューグリーンスキャン。
and we'll cut your energy prices in half. 50%
半分
within
50% 減らすっ
1
て
year from
ガソリン代金
January
エネルギー代金
20th. Is the fake news hearing that? Whoa!
フェイク
Look
です
how
よ。
much. Wow, that's a lot of fake
フェイク
news.
ニュースも昨日連中来てるって。聞いてるぞ、フェイクニュースの連中も。
That is a lot of fake news. Look at that.
Look at that.
Wow.
どんどん増えてますね、視聴者。倍増420万人です。今見てますよ。ここだけでね。
The lowest energy cost, the lowest regulatory burdens, and free access to the best and biggest market on the planet. Remember this, if we keep going like this, we won't have the biggest and the best. We won't have a market, we won't have a country. But only for those who make their product here in the USA and hire American workers for the job.
いい演説ですよ。まずね、経済問題も言ってます。
And if these companies don't make their products here,
国内製造に回帰させるということですよね。タリフ、関税。もう国外にね、産業を逃げさせないと、守ると国内産業を。
charges us 100 or 200% tax or tariff, we will then charge them a 100 or 200% tax or tariff.
中国や他の国がね、アメリカ製品に関税かけるならば、俺たちも関税かけると。
I will protect our workers, I will protect our
Protect
jobs, I will
workers,
protect our
jobs.
borders.I will protect
Borders,
our great families, and
great
I will
family.
protect the birthright of our children to live
Birthright
in the
of
richest
children,
and most powerful nation on the face of the earth.
みんなアメリカを守ると。いい演説ですね。しびれます。
As we rescue our economy, I will also
エコノミーも救済するぞと。
our borders. There's
ボ
never
ーダー
been
も
anything.
救済すると。
It's bigger than inflation.It's bigger than the economy. What they're doing to our country, they're allowing criminals from all over the world to enter our country. Over the past 4 years, Kamala Harris has orchestrated the most egregious betrayal that any leader in American history has ever inflicted upon our people. She has violated her oath, eradicated our sovereign border.And unleashed an army of migrant gangs who are waging a campaign of violence and terror against our citizens. There has never been anything like it anywhere in the world for any country. Kamala has imported criminal migrants from prisons and jails, insane asylums and mental institutions from all around the world, from Venezuela to the Congo. A lot of people are coming from the Congo prisons.They're coming from all over the world.
常識でしょこれ。
Over the last month, 181 countries violated our laws, and she has resettled them into your communities to prey upon innocent American citizens. But the day I take the oath of office, the migrant invasion of our country ends, and the restoration of our country begins.
ホワイトハウスに入って宣誓すると、もうこの不法侵入はね、終わりだと。
One of the deadliest and most vicious migrant gangs that Kamala has imported into our country is the savage Venezuelan prison gang. Nice group of people. They got together in prison, the worst prison in the world, they say. It's called Tren de Aragua.And that is taking over apartment complexes and unleashing a violent killing spree all over America, especially in Aurora.
刑務所にいたギャングラーがアメリカにやってきてる。オーロラ、コロラドの映像見ましたよね、みんな。タイムスクエアにもやってきたんですか。映像切り替わりませんね。音声だけです。トランプこの問題をピンポイントでこの個別のイシューをここでやるんですよね。やっぱボーダーに フォーカスさせる作戦ですよね。ベネズエラギャング。
I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented cross borders criminals.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been released into the United States.
1万3000人以上が犯罪者ですよ。マーダー、殺人者です。
Kayla's murderer was apprehended by Border Patrol crossing illegally into the U.S.
Kayla's murderer had been improperly released into the United States.
Abolish ICE. Yeah, we need to
ベネズエラの刑務所の犯罪人が国境を渡ってくると、ベネズエラはもうウェルカ願ったり叶ったりですよね。悪いやつをアメリカに輸出できるんですから。考えてください。日本のヤクザ、暴力団たち、今捕まってるね。これを中国に輸出したら、そんなことありえないでしょ、そんな国。
and the death of Jocelyn Nungarai.
Martinez and Angel wrapped his arms around Jocelyn's neck, took off her pants, and climbed on top of her. Later strangled Jocelyn to death, and then tied up her hands and feet.
Court documents suggest a group of
多分今民主党のやつらね、狂ってますよ。人種差別だとかね、レイシストだとか。
and released the day before the robbery.
A Peruvian gang leader.
ペルービアンギャングリー。
23 murders. He was arrested by
ペルーからもうね、中南米全部から来ますからね、特に悪いやつが。これ、統計ちゃんと出てるでしょ、さっき。言ったように1万3000人の殺人者、レイピストも1万5。そうですよ、こうなったらもう国じゃなくなっちゃいますよ。ちょっとトランプね、恐怖を煽ってます。これはストラテジーだと思いますね。
The United States is now an occupied country, but it will soon be an occupied country no longer.
面白いですよね。アメリカもオキュパイドカントリー、占領されてる国だって。アメリカ、日本を占領してますけどね。そのアメリカはリバレーションデーになるって、解放され、アメリカの解放だと。Day one、ラージェストディポーテーションするって。
I will rescue every city and town that has been invaded and conquered, and we will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail. We're going to kick them the hell out of our country as fast as possible.
それはそう、まずね、あれ犯罪者からディポーテーションすると捕まえるって言ってますからね。MS-13。
I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Think of that.
彼の説って具体的でしょ。具体的にこうするこうするこうすると。
Law and order. They had some tough ones.
ローアンドオーダーですよ。オーダー。
Enemies Act of 1798. You hear that, Mr. Speaker? Get ready. To target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil. And there are lots of them. We don't have the same country anymore, you know that. And you know, when you look at the polls and they say about the economy and they have all these different things, the worst nightmare that we're facing is what they've done to us on our borders. We had the safest
このボーダー問題がね、一番の問題。さっきこの冒頭にも言ってましたよね。インフレーションよりビッカーだって。
But there's a chart that I love very much because I wouldn't be here without it. That's it. I love it. I'm in love with it. I love that chart. Even if it had bad numbers, I would have loved that chart, but it doesn't. It has great numbers. And if you look at the arrow on the bottom, you'll see that was the day I left office. That was the lowest illegal immigration that we've ever had in recorded history, the recorded history of our country.
そうですよ。彼がね、オフィス去った時にはローエスだったんですよ。不法移民は。
An Elon Musk rocket ship. Look at what happens. Look at what happened after that.
And if they come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. And I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or law enforcement officer.
アメリカ人を殺した不法移民者にはデスペナルティだと。この具体的な発言、盛り上がりましたよね。アメリカ人を殺す不法移民たち、侵入者、侵略者たちにはデスペナルティ。カメラ政権の下ではね、サンクチュアリシティです。いやー、もうサンクチュアリシティアメリカの全部禁止すると。
disqualifies her from being president of the United States of America. She is grossly incompetent. All you have to do is look at her interviews, look at what she did the other night on fake news, CNN. Just take a look.
CNN で。
She couldn't answer a question. She's unfit for office.
Unfit
Everyone
office.
knows it.
みん
No
な知っ
one
てるよね。
respects her. No one trusts her. No one takes her seriously. Everyone knows she is a very low IQ individual. From humiliating our country in
いや、本当そう
Afghanistan
ですよ
to
ね。
the
カ
war
マ
in
ラ・ハリス
Ukraine
は、ヒューミリエイテ
to
ィ
the nightmare on our border to her inflation catastrophe, all done in conjunction with Sleepy Joe. But he was largely sleeping, wasn't he? After 4 o'clock. It's time to go to bed.
4時以降もね、スリーピー上はね。
To his and her egregious hurricane
そりゃ
response,
最悪になりますよ
the
ね。
worst
スリーピー上とカマラ
response
だ
in
と。
North Carolina and other states since Katrina, but I think it was even worse than Katrina.
カトリーナより悪いこのハリケーンね。最近起きたノースカロライナの。
They don't see any FEMA. You know why? They spent their money on bringing in illegal migrants. So
そうですよ。フィーマの災害用のお金を不法移民に使ってるんですよ。ふざけてますよね。フィーマも災害被害者にお金ないって。
Illegal immigrants and flying them in by beautiful jet planes. They flew in. We just found that about a year and a half ago. Remember, we said, what's going on? Those planes, there are a lot of planes going over there. What are they? They would fly them into the middle of our country, our beautiful, beautiful country. And you know what happened? You take a look at Springfield, Ohio.
Springfield, Ohio.
Think of this.
不法移民。
Where 30,000 illegal migrants were put into a town of 50,000 people.
5万人の都市にね、3万人の不法移民が入ってきたらどうなるかっていう話ですよね。
In Colorado.
Colorado
is going to vote for us. You know why? Typically, they go a little bit the other way. Of course, with their voting system, I'm not so sure about that. But you know why? Because they tried to throw the leading candidate of both parties, meaning me. I was leading both parties off the ballot. And the people of Colorado, including Democrats, are very angry about it. They are a threat to democracy, to use their term.
そうですよね。民主党こそがスレッドデモクラシーでしょう。トランプは党同士名前乗らないなんてふざけてますよね。
No, it is nice. You saw the other day where Kamala got a little stuck on the teleprompter, went a little bad, it stopped on her. You have to be, you know, if you're a politician, you have to be able to handle that.
政治家ならね、テレプロンプターが止まった時にもちゃんとできないといけないと。
But it happens a lot as a politician. It happens. I mean, we have so many politicians here, great ones, really great. Some are not so good, but great ones. And when Newt, or when the Speaker, or when Tommy Tuberville, who's here someplace, the great senator from Alabama, or when any one of our literally 75, by the way, should I introduce all of them by name? I should. Should I?
ここにいるね、政治家みんな紹介すべきだ。
No. Yes. I don't know. It's a lot.
たくさんの人が
Speaker,
ね。
should I? I don't know. Will they be angry? Yeah, they will. It's a lot of introducing, right? Let's keep going with the speech, right? But you know, when you have when you're in this profession, I have a friend who wanted to come in. I said, do you like speaking? Well, I do, but I have a great fear of speaking. I said, don't be a politician. If you have a fear of speaking,
話せ
don't
な
be
い、
a
話す
politician. But one thing you
ね
have to
政治
know
家に
is
な
that
る
no
なっ
matter
て。
how good your
カマラ・ハリ
people
ス
are that operate this
テ
machinery,
レプロン
it's
プター
going
が
to
止まっ
break.
たからってね
And you're going to be
話
out
せない
there all by yourself a lot. And you got to be able to do so.
基
3
本で
weeks
すよね
ago, she was saying there was only 32 days left.
32 days, we got some business to do, 32 days,
There's 32 days.
32 days.
And it stopped.
Stop.
And she went
テレプロン
this
プター
32 days. 32,
32 days.
32. And I was watching.
ロボット
I said, this isn't pretty. 32.
あんな
She
政
was
治家い
gone.
ないです
And
よ
then, damn it, it kicked back on. She was gone. We've had it. Happens a lot. And don't forget, you got all those people back there. Now, they don't talk about her. But if that ever happened, it happens all the time. I was campaigning in Ohio for a very, very Bernie Moreno. He's doing a good job. I think he's maybe going to win in Ohio. The problem he's got, his opponent, Brown, Sherrod Brown, he's taking ads in like he's my best friend. He never votes for me. He's not my best friend. Ohio's been very friendly to Trump. We win it all the time by a landslide. But the opponent is taking ads. I got 4 of them. I think we have 4 of them, right? They're taking ads. All of a sudden, they love Trump. We agree with Trump on tariffs. We agree with Trump on the border. We love Trump. And they're Democrats. I have friends calling up. Did they switch to the Republican Party? But it happened with Bernie Moreno. I was in Ohio to try and get him over the initial primary hump. And it was 45-mile-an-hour winds, and these suckers were blowing like, you ever try reading a teleprompter where it's moving about 2 feet in each? But I didn't have to worry about that because even worse, they ended up blowing off the stage a lot of it. So I'm now in the first sentence, and I got 28,000 people and millions of people watching on television. I got no teleprompter. And did I do a good job, Mr. Speaker? And he won. And he won, huh? Thank you, Matt. And he won. And so you're up there all alone. We don't go 32, 32, 32, whatever. Kamala Harris is a train wreck who has destroyed everything in her path. To make her president would be a gamble with the lives of millions and millions of people. She would get us into World War III. We're very close to World War III. If you don't have a smart president,
もうワールドワー3です、カマラ・ハリ
if
ス
you don't have a president that gets it, if you don't have a president that is respected by the other side, and they did respect us 4 years ago, they really respected us. Iran was broke. They had no money. Russia wouldn't have played with us at all. Russia would have never gone into Ukraine. Israel, October 7th, would never, ever have happened. Would have never have happened. All those people would be alive right now, those people that were killed on that horrible day. But if you don't have a president that gets it, you know what else you wouldn't have had? You wouldn't have had the most embarrassing day in the history of our country, in my opinion, Afghanistan, the way they, not that they got out, we were getting out, but we were going to get out with dignity and strength. We got out, an embarrassment, the likes of which this country has never suffered. And because of that, Putin looked at us and they probably figured we were a paper tiger.
これトランプの見立てなんですよね。アフガンの失敗を見て、プーチンはウクライナに侵攻したのを決めたと。
Inflation has destroyed a lot of seniors on fixed income, and a lot of people in this room have been virtually destroyed by inflation. You wouldn't have had inflation.
退職者、年金生活者に一番厳しいんですよね。
Things like the Green New Scam, which are just a scam, just a complete scam. They actually admitted that, if you think about it. But she would get us into World War III because she's incompetent, can't do the job, unfit for it, and then all of your sons and daughters will end up getting a little notice. They'll say, Mom, Dad, what is this little green piece of paper? Ay, 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 darling, that's a draft notice.
そうです
They're
よ。
drafting you to
召
go and
喚。
fight in some country that I've never heard this country. I've never heard of this country before.
聞いたこともない国
Oh,
で
no, I don't
派兵
want
さ
my
れるん
baby
です
to
よ。
fight. I don't want my baby to be killed.
インコンピテンスのカマラ・ハリスがね、大統領になると戦争継続です。
And leaving all of that equipment behind and leaving Americans behind and many, many people with no legs and no arms, all because of incompetent people. But we don't want your sons and daughters to get a little draft notice and you have to explain to them what it means. We're tired of fighting. I'm the only president in the last 84 years that didn't start a war. Remember Crooked Hillary?
そうです。これはもう、厳然たる事実ですからね。トランプの時は戦争をやってないんですよ、4年間。初めてです。ヒラリーがなんたらかんたら言おうとも、いくら戦争やったんですか。そうですよ。トランプが2016年覚えてますか？トランプが大統領になるとヒラリーは戦争だと。82年間。アイシスを倒したのも前からあったことでね。彼は倒した。自分が始めたわけじゃないですからね。
And we wiped them out very quickly. It was going to take 5 years. Mattis said it would take 5 years, and I'm not sure we could do it. It took us like 4 weeks. We have great generals.
もう4週間でね。
We have the greatest military in the world. Just a lot of people don't know that. And everybody knows it, but you know, I saw the other day a report that they issued that if we end up in a war with China, we cannot win.
私は本当ね、戦争が一番のもちろんアメリカ人、アメリカ住んでませんから、アメリカ国内問題よりも戦争一番。
Why would you put out a report? Then they'll say, oh, Trump is not truthful. No, I'm smart. You don't put out reports like that. And it's not true. We would kick their ass. It's not true.
戦争をやらないトランプ。戦争をやめるトランプ。もうこの一点で世界中のリベラルはトランプを支持するべきです。クリントンのバカなレトリック、トランプはヒトラーだっていうのに信じるなということですよね。
I've made this position a very dangerous one because of that. That's why. It's a very dangerous. You know, if you drive a race car, you have 1/10 of 1% chance of dying. If you ride the bulls, I think the bulls are pretty nasty, right? You have about the same 1/10 of 1% of dying. If you become president of the United States, you got a hell of a shot dying.
耳に銃撃受けましたから。
I never thought about it, but here we are. Here we are. And I'm okay with it. And I would rather be here than any place in the world.
耳銃撃された、もう10分の1秒の差でしょ。で、本当は頭蓋骨、貫通、一発即死の。それを生き残った大統領、こんなこと言うんですよ。
But if we win, our enemies won't be laughing anymore. They're not going to be laughing. And you know what? The truth is, I got along with all of them. I got along with Putin. Ukraine was the apple of his eye, but I said, Vladimir, don't go in. Remember, I ended the pipeline in Europe.
仲良くできるって。
I ended the pipeline in Europe, and then when Biden came in, he approved it. But he ended the Keystone pipeline, the one in America. So he got it a little mixed up, didn't he, huh? Nord Stream 2, I said, we're ending Nord Stream 2. Everybody said, what is Nord Stream 2? I said, that's the massive Russian pipeline where they're going to make a fortune, where they're going to Germany and all countries in Europe. So I said, you mean we're fighting to help them with NATO and spending all of that money, and they're paying the person and the group that we're fighting billions of dollars a month? What the hell are we doing? I ended it. It was dead. And Biden came along and he approved it. weak. Look, 30 years ago, he was not considered smart either. So now he's really not smart. If we win, America will be respected, and even if it's necessary, feared again. It's not the worst word. On issue after issue, Kamala broke it, but I will fix it. We're gonna fix it.
カムラがぶっ壊した問題を全部ね、
But we're
彼が
just
フィ
not
クス、
running
直すって。
against Kamala. I think a lot of our politicians here tonight know this. She means nothing. She's purely a vessel. That's all she is. When you see her up there talking
エンプ
about
ティベッセルですね。
the grass on my front lawn, I grew up in a middle class neighborhood and I had grass on my front lawn.
カバラの場で。
Yeah, but we're asking, what would you do to fix the country? And why didn't you do it? You had almost 4 years. Why didn't you do this stuff?
So
now she's, you know, she's
Still happy
becoming
middle class.
more MAGA than those politicians I just told you about from the different states. She can't put 2 sentences together.
はさら
She's
です
just
よね。
like, she's really just like, in many ways, crooked Joe Biden. And she never said to us, she never told us that Joe was not functioning properly. She should have. Because, you know, we're talking about the life of the most important country in the world.
そうですよ
We
ね。
need very smart people. We're
ジョ
running
ー・バイデン
against
の認
something
知
far
症
bigger than Joe or Kamala, and far more powerful than them, which is a massive, vicious, crooked, radical left machine that runs today's Democrat Party. They're just vessels. In fact, they're perfect vessels because they'll never give them a hard time. They'll do whatever they want.
そうですよ
I
ね。
know many of them. It's just this
単なるね
amorphous group
ベッ
of
セルの
people.
蒸気船みたいなもんですよ、運
But they're
転。
smart and they're vicious. And we have to defeat them. And when I say the enemy from within, the other side goes crazy, becomes a sound. Oh, how can he say? No, they've done very bad things to this country. They are indeed the enemy from within. But this is who we're fighting. These
そう
are
で
the
しょ。
people who are
Enemy
doing
from
such
within
harm
は
to our country
連
with
中
their
なんで
open
すよ。
border policies, record-setting inflation, green new scam, and everything else that they're doing. But we're not going to let it happen any longer. We're going to have the biggest victory in the history of our country on November 5th. It's going to be the biggest victory in history.
さあ、11月5日はね、
We're going to
歴史
make
的な
America
大
great
勝
again,
利。
everybody.
でもこのバカな民主党
On top of
政
it all,
権を終わらせ
Kamala
ましょう。
says she would not do one thing differently from Joe Biden, which is totally disqualifying. And you have to remember this. All of the mistakes he made, and you know what maybe is the worst, but they're all so bad. Think of this. 325,000 children are missing, dead, sex slaves or slaves. They came through the open border and they're gone. Their
32万
parents
人
will
の
most likely
子供や
never
女
see
性
them
が
again, almost any of them. Think of the number. 325,000 children are missing or
こんな
dead.
子供がな
Take a
不
look
明
at this, please.
もしくは死んでると
You have done something differently,
南
President
い
Biden, during the
移
past
民
4
できた
years.
人のね
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch.
The chaotic and deadly U.S. evacuation from Afghanistan stunned Americans and the world and cost the lives of 13 U.S. soldiers.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States.
An Afghan national is in custody today after being accused of plotting an election day terrorist attack. The suspect entered the U.S. on a special immigrant visa.
Gut-wrenching new details in the murder of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national who crossed the unsecured southern border back in 2022.
徹底的になりますね、トランプは
Investigators
こ
say
の
are
問
in the
題を。
country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder and the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
まあね、このクロージングアーギュメント、この最終盤でもうあとバトルグラウンドでしょ。ここで圧倒的に勝たないといけません。
Only 18% say the economy is in excellent or good condition.
やっぱりこの不法移民の問題がね、ここを煽って、ここを強調して、票を取るという最後のね、戦略ですよね。
Were you the last person in the room? Yes.
So if you want to end this disaster, you got to get out and vote. Just go out and vote.
Vote Trump.
You got to get out. We have to put it away. We're close. We're so close. You know, usually the Republicans are losing in the first week in the early voting. And we did something that has not been done. I don't think, Speaker, it's been done yet, but it's been done for us. We're leading every one of the swing states, all 7 of them.
マイク・ジョンソンに向かって言ってます。ハーリー・ボード、リーディング。大体リパブリカン最初2週間負けてる。
Republicans like to vote on a thing called election day. You know, in the old days we had election days. Today we have election periods. They go on forever. And last time they went beyond and start early, start late, do whatever the hell you want. You know, we
エレクションデーじゃない、エレクションピリオドです。もう始まってますから。
In 2020 than any sitting president in history by millions. Okay. And we did great, obviously, in 2016 we won, but we did much better in 2020. But everything, nothing compares to what's happening. I mean, you have tens of thousands of people standing outside watching us on a television, and we love you out there. We love you. They're watching.
2016も20も良かったけど、今こんなようなことなかったと。1万人以上の人が外でも見てると。
But both of those great races, both of them don't compare to what's happening now. In Florida, we took a massive lead, and all of these places. I mean, there's something happening that's really good. There's something happening that's really good, but let's close it out. Pretend you're 1 point down. Would everybody pretend? Let me just do a poll.
もし 1ポイントダメだとしたらね、負けているとしたら、
Who is going to vote? That's what I like. That would be better than the other way if you've already voted. So I'd say 16, 17, maybe 20%. And we're leading. And most of you haven't voted, but you promise you're going to vote? Everybody promise?
Yeah.
Promise. There's a lot of people in here. Well, the beauty is that, you know, a Republican likes to vote late, and they like to vote and make sure their vote's in the box, right? They want to vote. They just feel better about it. And so we had a lot of people voting, but really that's the same. I do it in every event. I say, who's voted for the last 3 events? Last night I was at Penn State, a great place. I actually met, this is an amazing, the national championship wrestling team. They won Penn State won the national championship, but listen to this. 11 out of the last 13 years, even Jim Jordan would be impressed by that. You know, Jim Jordan is a great guy. He's a great wrestler, all-American wrestler, Jim. You can see it by the way he acts. He's not afraid of anything, right? And I looked at those guys, and they're rough as hell. I said, you may be the only people that can take Trendy Aragua in a fight. And it won't even be that easy for them. They're tough people. But it was great to meet that team, and there's great champions, amazing, really great champions. And we were packed at Penn State. We were packed. No matter where we go, we're packed. No matter where we go, because there's something happening. And the something happening is they want to take back their country. People want to take back their country. You love the country. I love the country. We want to take it back. I could be right now on the most beautiful beach in the world. I could be at Turnberry in Scotland. I own it. I could be anywhere. I got that greatest. I don't have to be here, but I would much rather be at Madison Square Garden with you.
Yeah. もうリタイアしてね、美しいとこにどっかビーチでのんびりするより、ここでマディソンスクエアガーデンでね。
So we're thrilled to be joined today by an incredible group of patriots who are going to help us save our country, including our next Vice President J.D. Vance.
バンス。次は J.D. バンスのスピーチ。ちょっと私冒頭だけ聞いて、 ちょっと仕事に行かないといけません。仕事遅れます。もう9時になります。
Incredible. Last week I watched that rocket ship come down. I've never seen it. I told this story last night. I was on the phone with a very, very important person, and I'm talking to him, and I'm watching the television while I'm talking to this guy. He's boring as hell. And I said, wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm looking at the screen. And I see this rocket pouring the fire, the flames, it's all over the place. It was white a week ago, and now it's pitch black from the burning coming down at 10,000 miles an hour. It's coming down at a low. There he is. There is my Eli. He's that great. You know what he was doing for the last week? Campaigning in Pennsylvania.
Elon Musk.
He's a sweetheart, too. So I'm talking to this guy, very important guy, big guy, and I have the television screen on, and there's rockets coming down. I said, you know, it was pure, beautiful white when it left, but it's burned from the fire and the flame, and it is, and now I see it coming down like this, and it's like 20 stories tall or something. It's massive, and it's coming down, and I say to the guy, hey, do me a favor, will you hold on a minute? Just hold on, I'll talk to you. This is like one of the most important people. I'm watching, said, just hold on. I put the phone down. By the way, I never picked it up again. You know what these people are going to say? He's cognitively impaired. He's cognitively impaired. Oh, you don't think so? They're the worst. They are the worst. So I put it down, and I'm watching this rocket, and I see the engines. I say, oh, it's going to crash. No. Because it's right next to the gantry. I guess they call it the gantry, whatever the hell they call it. The launching pad. And it's coming down at a bad angle, Elon. I wasn't happy. And I was a little worried. You might have been worried too. I said, oh no, it's not going to be good. And then all of a sudden I saw the flame on the bottom left, and it was ripping. The flame was pouring out of that sucker, and it straightened it out like this.
見ました。私も見ました。ロケットの帰還する。そう、捕まえた。すごいです。あれ見た時のテクノロジー、イーロン・マスクのやったこと。トランプも見たんですね、ライブで。電話してても、電話置いて。
I wasn't sure if it was a movie. I thought it might be one of these crazy movies. And I said, I got to call Elon. And I call him. I said, Elon, was that you? This is like about 4 minutes after. Was that you? Yep, that was me. I say, Elon, you're a genius. You are a genius.
He is special.
He is special. And you know what he wants more than anything else?
もし見たことない方、映像を見てください。
Really well run, solidly run, to be run democratically, all the things that everybody in this room wants. And I mean, honestly, he left that pad and he went to Pennsylvania to campaign.
そうですよ。このビジネスの天才、テクノロジーの天才がペンシルバニアでキャンペーンしてるんですから。
Can Russia do that? No. Can China do that? No. Can anybody do that other than you? Nobody else can do it. Nobody else can do it. Pretty good. And he said, and they won't be able to for 10 years, you said, right? They won't be able to for 10 years.
もう10年経ったらできなくなって、それも。
And he's a great guy, too. He really is. Got to remember him.
イーロン・マスク。
This is a piece of work.
Piece of work. スペース X すごいですよね。もう NASA より上ですから。NASA はスペース X を助け求めてますから。
He was there, and it was beautiful. We had 101,000 people celebrating a great
バトラーにこの前行ったでしょ。2回目のバトラーでの集会。イーロン・マスクやってきて。黒いマガハット。
It's a black hat with black letters, okay? It's called understated. And I said, you like that hat? He said, I love that hat. I call it Dark MAGA. But you know that after that evening, that became our #1 best-selling hat for that week. All I have to do is put something on them now. You're great. And thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's great.
600万人超えましたよ、今。ライブビューは610万人。
Somebody that is great, and Look, we're not going to let him go too crazy, Elon, with the oil and gas stuff, and Robert F. Kennedy cares more about human beings and
RFK Jr.
and the environment than anybody. And he's going to
環境問題
be
の専門家ですからね。
having him is such a great honor. I've been friends of his for a long time. And I'm going to let him go wild on health. I'm going to let him go wild on
Let him
food.
go wild.
I'm going to let him go wild on medicines. The only thing I don't think I'm going to let him even get near is the liquid gold that we have
これ
under
この前も言ってましたよね。リクイッドゴールド
I
に
don't know, Elon, he might not
リクイ
like
ッドゴールド
liquid
には
gold.
触らせないっ
It's
て。
oil and gas, sometimes
オイル
referred
ガ
to
スは
as oil and
触らせな
gas.
い環境問
JD, I
題
think we're
ね。
going to have to keep him away from the oil and gas. What do you think, Howard? Yes?
JD に言ってます。
But where is Robert? He's
RFK
around. He gave
Jr.
a
は
beautiful speech. He's a great guy. He
環
truly
境問題
cares.
や
I
らせ
mean,
る
he
なと。
truly cares about this, and it's an honor.
メディシンだけ
And
でいい
we're also pleased to be joined by my beautiful
Yeah.
wife. She's got the #1 best-selling book in the whole universe. New
メラ
York
ン、
Times.
メラニア。ニューヨークタイムズベストセラー。難しいですよね、ニューヨークタイムズ。トランプという名前だと。
#1 best-selling. Go out and buy one of her. It's a great book. It's a great. You know what? I was nervous when I read it. I said, I wonder if she said some bad stuff about me. I was very.
悪いこと書いてあるか自分
But
に。ち
she's
ょっ
great.
とナーバスだった。
Congratulations, honey. That's a big deal. #1 in the New York Times list. Now, if she's #1 and her name is Trump on the New York Times list, that book definitely was #1, I guarantee.
トランプの名前でニューヨークタイムズベストワンっていうのはもう
And
すごい
we have
本だっ
a
て。
fabulous, brilliant woman, top student at Yale Law School.
イエロースクール。
They were both top students. They're going to have very smart kids. If you believe in that, I believe in it
JD
strongly.
バンスの奥
I'd
さんで
like
す。
to have their children because they are going to be smart. Yale Law School, top of the class, both of them. Usha Vance, thank
ウー
you.
シャバンス。ウ
Thank
ーシャ
you.
バンス、インテリで綺
Thank
麗
you
な
very
んですよね。
much.
イ
With
ンド
their
系
two
の人
beautiful
ですけど。
children. And my children
彼
here,
女も
Don
才女
and
で、才
Eric
媛
and
です。
Tiffany, and along with Lara,
ティファニ
Kimberly
ー、
and
ラウラ、
Michael,
キ
we
ン
have
バリー、
great
みんな
people.
トラン
We
プ
have
の家
Baron
族が来てま
Homies
す。
watching. That Baron is watching. He's
バロン
the
も
king of the internet.
キングオブインターネット、
He's
バロン
the。king of the internet. Oh,
バロンが
who was that?
ジョー・ローガンとのポッドキャストをね、推薦
That's
しました。
very nice. My sister Elizabeth is here. She's
シス
great.
ターエリザベス。
I don't know where she is, but she's great, and we love her. And Speaker Mike Johnson is here,
Speaker
and he's
Mike
doing a great
Johnson.
job. It's not easy when you have a majority of 3, but he's done a great job, and he's going to continue to do a great job, and we like him. He's a terrific person. I watched him just totally decapitate a fake reporter on NBC, Meet the Fake Press. What he did to her was, I think that probably she'll never be the same. Nobody would know. Look at him, such a nice-looking guy, just that little beautiful face with the glasses. Got the little
Michael
glasses.
Johnson.
Everyone said, "Oh, he's so nice. He's such a nice person." He's not a nice person. He's not nice at all, right, Matt? But great job. We think he's great, and he's going to be around for a long time, I predict. We have a senator here who I love, Senator Tommy Tuberville. And he's from a great place, Alabama. I love Alabama. I'm up in Alabama by 49 points. 49 points. We're up by a lot in a lot of different places, but it's a great place, and thank you, Tommy. And all of our other great congressmen. We have so many if I ever named them. We're going to be up here a long time. So they're going to be angry. They won't speak to me for probably a month or so, but it'll calm down after that. Right, Matt Gaetz? It'll calm down. It'll calm down. But we have great, great people, and they're really doing a job, and we're going to turn this country around. You know, with me, we got to get the congressmen elected, and we got to get the senators elected, because we can take the Senate pretty easily. And I think with our little secret, we're going to do really well with the House, right? Our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over. I also want to thank Jim Dolan and everyone at Madison Square Garden for an unbelievable, this is unbelievable. I've watched the Knicks and Rangers here, and what a location. You know, they tried to talk Jim out of this location. We're going to move you to the river. We're going to move you all over the place. And he's tough. He said, I don't know. They offered him all sorts of money. We're going to move Madison. It's a very prime location. We're going to move it to the river. Well, we're right on top of every train hub it's like the world or something right here. And he didn't like it that much, but he was offered a lot. Man, did he make a good decision. That would have been peanuts compared to the value. But there's no place like Madison Square Garden. Thank you very much to Jim and all of your people.
Madison Square の
But here are the
トップ
facts.
なんでしょうね。
Kamala Harris is a radical left Marxist, rated even worse than crazy Bernie Sanders or Pocahontas. She destroyed our economy. She was an original creator of Defund the Police. Can you believe it? She was one of the originals for Defund the Police. And anybody who wants to defund our great police for even 1 week is not worthy of being president of the United States because that's where her thinking is. Kamala vowed to abolish ICE. You know, those tough people you've been looking up at the screen? They're the ones that get them out of our country. I know a lot of people right in these roads are very tough. They don't want any part of it. They got to go in there, fist a-blazing to move them. You know, we had a case in Long Island where MS-13, one of the other really bad gangs, killed 2 young girls, 16 years old, walking to school. They didn't shoot them. They knifed them and they cut them into little pieces because it was so painful. Perfect, young, beautiful girls were cut up into little pieces by knives. MS-13, they're animals. And you know who took care of it for us? ICE. ICE, they had no problem.
そのアイスを解体しようとしているのはカマラですからね。
Defund ICE.
Defund
We're not
ICE.
defunding ICE, right? We're not defunding ICE. We're not even going to think about it. She's never going to get the chance.
ICE, Immigration
There's no way she
and
becomes
Custom
president. There's no way.
Enforcement だと
Radical
思いま
left
す。
lunatic who destroyed San Francisco. She destroyed, along with Gavin Newsom,
ニュースカム、出たニュースカム。
the worst, one of the worst governors in the country.
カリフォルニアニュースカム。
California. And she's not going to get a chance to destroy our country any further. We're
も
going
う
to
こ
get
れ以
it
上ね、
back
国
fast.
を破
She
壊さ
wants
せな
to
いと。
ban fracking.
バン、
And
フ
as
ラッキング。
California Attorney General, she redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person as a totally nonviolent crime. She pledged to confiscate your guns. Is there anybody in the room that would like to give up their gun to Kamala?
No.
I had a feeling you might say that. And endorsed a total ban on handgun ownership. I don't think that's good. When a criminal crawls into your house at night, it would be nice to be able to at least have a chance, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be nice? She even called for free sex change operations on illegal aliens in detention at taxpayer expense. Think of it. At taxpayer.
収容し刑務所に収容されてるやつ
They're
に
illegally detained, but if they want a sex change
セックスチェン
operation,
ジですよ。性転換手術をタダで税金でやらせるっていうカマラ・ハリスの馬鹿げた
because
政
it
策。
didn't work, it wasn't working too well with the electorate. But she'll be back to it because that's where it is. She's a radical left person
Radical
from San
left.
Francisco. She destroyed the
サンフラン
place.
シスコの
You
ラディ
know,
カ
she
ルレフ
lied
トです。
about that, but she also lied about something very important.
何ですか
For
何嘘
years and years, she said she had a job at McDonald's.
ああ、マクドナルドの仕事。嘘
And
つ
the
い
reason
た。
I went there last week, do you know that I got a call from Sundar, very smart guy at Google. He said, this is the most amazing thing. We've had just about more hits on this crazy McDonald's store.
あ、そう。
And I
Google で。
went there just to prove a little point. See, you never know how something's going to work out, Mr. VP, do you? But he called and he said, we've had more hits on McDonald's than I think he said anything we've ever had, but let's say it's close. And did anybody watch Joe Rogan recently? Good?
いやー、ジョー・ローガン。
So she lied about McDonald's. She lied about everything. She's got ads on saying Donald Trump is this, he's going to do this, he's going to do. It's the exact opposite what my policies are.
そうですよね。トランプがこうする、トランプがこうするっていう、全部真逆のこと言ってます。彼女のアズではね、広告では。
One thing I have been, even the enemy, because they are the enemy, what they've said, even that enemy too, when they're really the enemy, they're the enemy of the people, the press. They said one thing about me that I consider a great compliment. They said, this guy is the most consistent person we've ever seen. Because I've been against cars and car factories being taken out of Detroit and being taken out of our manufacturing of automobiles, being taken out of our system, out of our country for years. I've been against all of the things that are happening and have happened. We stopped it, and now it's happening again. When you hear 50,000 manufacturing jobs lost in just a short period of time. But I've been the most consistent because we're going to bring our manufacturing back to the United States.
そうなんですよね。トランプってずっと一貫してるんですよね。その製造業のこともそうですし、国境のことも。
On top of all this, Kamala tried to turn our military woke. So tonight, whether you are a Republican, Democrat, or independent, conservative, or liberal, I'm inviting you to join the greatest political movement in the history of our country. It's really that.
タルシーですか？タルシーギャバ。
Do you know it's the greatest movement in the history of our country? I tell the story that years ago. There's a guy, is a great guy, older guy now, very old, but he was great, conservative guy, Pat Buchanan, right? We know Pat
Buchanan.
He came in second in the New Hampshire primary. And for 45 years, he made an unbelievable career of it. He was a hot item. He was on every show. He came in second in one primary. We came in first in 50 primaries. We then had a great election that we won. We then had another great election that we did a hell of a lot better in, and bad things happened. We're not going to let that happen. COVID. They used COVID to cheat. But we then had an election. But now we have the election of all. This will be, in my opinion, I have to say if, because, you know, there's always risks, I guess. But if we pull this off, this will be the biggest political event in the history of our country.
そうですね。今回2024は歴史上
And we're building the biggest, broadest, most diverse coalition in American history, including union workers and Border Patrol agents. By the way, the Border Patrol gave me last week their complete and total endorsement. They said he's the greatest president in the history of the country.
国境警備隊トランプにね、エンドースメントします。
And they said there's never been anybody like him on the border. They said to him, the fake news said, has she ever called you? No. They didn't like that answer, by the way. Then they asked her, have you ever called? No, she never called. Almost 4 years, she never called, not once, the Border Patrol. And she was the
Kamala Harris, Border Patrol に一回も電話して連絡しないって。
Think of it. 4 years, she never called. Now she's trying to say, well, you know, I was really not the border. Whether she was the border czar or not, she was put in charge of the border by Sleepy Joe, and then he went to bed. He put her in charge, went to bed. She did the worst job on the border than anybody has done in the history of the world. There's never been a border like this in the world. And a third world country would fight people with sticks and stones to stop them from pouring into that country. And we let them just come right in. What a shame. What a shame.
What a shame.
Police and firefighters also. We have every endorsement from virtually every sheriff's department, police department.
警官も消防隊員もみんな
トランプを応援します。Well, it's not going to be in New York's finest. By the way, how good are the police outside?
NYPD, New York finest. 今もね、守ってくれてます。メイヤー・アダムス。メイヤー・アダムス民主党ですよ。起訴されました。バイデン・ハリス DOJ から。メイヤー・アダムス、文句言ったんですよね。その不法移民がいっぱい来たんで、ニューヨークに。そしたら民主党から。
Well, he's going to be indicted by
排
these
斥
lunatics for Saturday.
彼も起訴されました。
He got indicted.
彼、トランプ予測してたんですよ。
Upgraded his seat in an airplane. I hear that's a very serious
1
joke.
年後、ものの見事に予測的
They've
中、
upgraded my
起
seat
訴
a
されま
lot
し
too.
た。
I used to fly commercial. I don't fly it so much anymore. But they'd see me back there and, sir, would you like an upgrade? I don't know. Maybe it's something else. But I have to tell you, he's been really great. And he said that they shouldn't be calling Trump a dictator because it's not true. That's nice. That was nice. Very nice. So we want to thank Mayor Adams. He's going through a hard time with these people. These are lunatics, by the way. They've weaponized the Justice Department against their political opponent. I am under investigation more than the great, late Alphonse Capone.
アルカポーネよりも起訴された男、ドナルド・ J. トランプ。
And I know my mother's in heaven. I'm not 100% sure my father, but it's close. But he's looking down at me right now.
お父さんが
And he
天
said,
国から
how
見
the
て、
hell did this happen to
な
my
ん
son?
ちゅう
He's
こと
not
や
a
と。
bad person. I'm a good person. All we want to do is straighten out our country.
トランプの演説面白いですよね。
But all of the veterans are with us. All of the
こ
steel
うちょっと
workers. I saved our
長いんですけ
steel.
ど、
I saved our steel
これ毎回
plants,
です。
and I don't like Japan buying US steel.
お
US steel
ア
used
メ
to
リ
be like
カ、
Elon
アメ
Musk
リカ
like
と
7 years
日
ago,
本
the
の
biggest, the best company
US
in
スティー
the
ルの
world.
話
You
出
know
てま
that,
したよ。
Elon? You wouldn't know. He's too young to know. US steel was the big baby. That was a big. I don't know.
US steel.
There's something nice about US steel
US
being the biggest
steel.
as opposed to Google. You know, it's like a different kind of a company. But we sort of need steel in this country. Like, we're not going to go to war with me as your president, but if we, on the long shot that we do, we don't want to say we need steel. Can we get it from China, or can we get it from someplace else? Could, you know, it's always a possibility. But I will tell you, you're not going to have a war with me, and you're not going to have a third world war with me. That I can tell you.
もう日本も諦めた方がいいです
But
よ、
we need
US スティー
steel.
ルは。
And I would
日
not
鉄も。
approve U.S. steel being bought by Japan. I wouldn't do it. Just out of
I wouldn't do it.
psychologically not good. We'll help them out, but we don't. I don't like it. We're seeing historic levels of support among our black population, Hispanic population, and our Asian
黒人、
population.
ヒスパニック、アジア
Jews,
から、
Muslims, by the
ユ
way.
ダヤ、
Did
ムスリムからも、
anybody see yesterday?
昨日見たかったよ。
Did anybody
Did
see
anybody-
what took place?
見た
I
見
was
た。
with the Muslims yesterday
見ました、
in
ミシガン。
Michigan, and when the polls first came out, they had 100%, I had 0. And yesterday, I watched this anchor on CNN almost choke. She said, something's happening in Michigan, big population, couple of 100,000, a lot of votes.
数十万のね、
Something's
スルム
happening. The poll just
有
came
権
out.
者。
Trump is at 59. Kamala is at 8 with the Muslim population.
お
They
ー。
never saw anything like that, Eli.
59 の8。
And these are people, by the way, they're great. They just want peace. They want to have peace.
そうです
And
よ
it's、great.
ムスリム系の
So Jews
住
and
民。
Muslims and Catholics and evangelicals and
ジェリ
Mormons,
コも、
they're all joining our cause in large numbers,
そうです。
larger than anyone has ever
過
seen
去
in this
最
country
大の
before, larger than they've ever seen in any
見
country.
なかっ
And
た
the
ような
Republican
人たちがリパブリ
Party
カ
has
ン
really
に
become the
投票します
party of inclusion, and that's something
パーティー
very
オブイン
nice
クルージョ
about
ン
that. And we're a big, powerful party, and they're losing it.
ビッグテントですよ
They're
ね
really losing it.
共和
Together
党
we
今
will
は
lift
労
America
働者
to
も
glory beyond your wildest dreams. It's going to happen fast, too. So in conclusion, with your vote this November, we are going to fire Kamala,
ファイア
and we are
カマ
going
ラ
to save America.
Save America
We will
November
cut your
5th
taxes, end inflation, slash your prices, raise your wages, and bring thousands and thousands of factories back to America.
Yeah
We're even going to get Elon to bring that stuff back. We will build American, we will buy American, and we will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine, which would have never happened if I were president.
ウクライナ戦争も終わらせるぞと、ミドリーそのケイオスも終わらせると、
We will crush violent crime and give our police the support,
これ以上の大
protection,
統領いますか？
resources, and respect
いや、ほんとね、リンカーンの次と言ってもいいと思いますよ。レーガン以上でしょ。私、ロナルド・レーガン自体、ちょっと知ってますけど、伝説のロナルド・レーガン抜きましょう、今回。
To a couple of generals, I said, congratulations, this is an invasion of our country. So I took it out of the military, had 9 lawsuits and won them all. We will build a massive defense shield, all made in the USA. We're going to build a beautiful dome over our country.
700万人ビュー超えました。
And a lot of it's going to be made right here in New York.
これ X だけですがね、しかも他の人もライブしてますから、X だけで多分何千万人って見てるでしょ。他のテレビ局も多分このマディソンMSG でのラリー最高だと思います。世界中で見られる。皆さんもね、今歴史をの証言者になってます。
2 months ago, as some very bad people, radical left people, by the way, nothing happened to them, in Washington, D.C., burned our American flags. They were burning flags. And I would like to suggest that we put in a bill. If you burn the American flag, 1 year in jail.
アメリカの国旗を燃やしたら1年間刑務所行きです。トランスジェンダーのインサニティを学校から排除する。女性にね、のスポーツからね、トランスジェンダー排除する。セカンドアメンメント守るぞ。武器もね、銃の自由。
We are finally going to build up our country, defend our borders, and protect our citizens. It's called America First. And it's going to happen at levels
America First.
And I'll tell our friends, our allies, who sometimes treat us very badly, that it's about time we take care of ourselves. And we will stop the illegal immigration that's taking place at levels never seen before. We will stop it cold and once and for all. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be overrun. We will not be conquered. We will be a free and proud nation once again. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive. And every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. And very much so, it will be filled with the American dream. We're bringing back the American dream. And we're going to bring it back at the highest level that you've ever seen. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda with a landslide that is too big to rig.
Too big to leak.
So you need to get out and vote. Get your husband off the couch. The football game doesn't mean a damn thing. You got to get out and vote. Get up, Harry. Come on, Harry. Get up, Harry. Let's go.
今ね、ライブ放送、ニャリンプーさん、コメントいただいてます。ありがとうございます。おはようございます。デベリサさん、こちらで今日の MSG のラリーの情報をいただき、いても立っていられず会場付近まで行って、あ、そうですか。他で会場中に入ると、ものすごい熱気と、限界中のアンチさんたちの攻撃、ものすごい、あ、そうだ。ニューヨークから。すごいですね、羨ましいです。この会場近くに行って、マンハッタン、素晴らしい午後でしたと、マンハッタンの午後でした。コメントありがとうございます。 トラちゃんさん、スパチャありがとうございます。もう感動してます。ありがとうございます、トラちゃんさん。ちょっとスクリーンショットに撮っておきます。トラちゃんさんからいただいたスパチャ。私の宝物です。
New York was the place you wanted to be, and now people just don't speak well of it. But we're gonna bring it back, and we're gonna bring it back strong. And I hope you go out and vote. You got to vote for.
730万人ビュー超えました。さっき740万でしたけど、ね、トランプの長いです。私どんだけ1時間ぐらいやってますよ、トランプ。
Hasn't been done in so long. They all say, "Sir, you're wasting your money." I don't think so. Your crime is through the roof. Everything is through the roof. I remember during the debate, they said, "No, sir, this stupid person named David Muir from ABC Fake News."
David Muir.
He said, "Sir, crime is not through the roof.
Crime is not through the roof. Crime is down."
No.
この後すぐ
It's down. I was like debating three people. I had him,
Fact
I had that
checking.
person next to him who I never even heard of. But it turned out the following day,
そう
they
次の
released
日
the stats, and crime was
統
up
計出てクライムズアップ
45%. And what a
で
shame.
しょ、もうひどかったですよね、
We really
ABC。
need a fair press in this country. If we have a fair press, that's going to be 50% of the battle of bringing it back. But this is the city where I was born and raised, and this is the town that
Born and
taught
raised,
me
New
that
York.
Americans can do anything when they want to. So no matter our differences, when we work together, there is nothing that we cannot achieve. From New York to Las Vegas, from Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Charlotte, from Atlanta to Detroit, this nation was built by generations of American patriots who gave everything they had for our rights, our future, and for our freedom. Through freezing cold winters and hot scorching summers, through storms and setbacks and conflicts and danger, our American ancestors pushed onward, marched forward, and overcame every single obstacle that stood in their way.
そうですね、私ね、
Together they crossed the oceans,
その
settled the continent,
アメリカの Good Old Days、 アメリカのファウンダーたちのスピリッツにはものすごく敬意を共感して持ってます。昔のアメリカね。イーロン・マスク対して。
And 9 days from now, it's hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in the history of the USA. With your help from now until Election Day, we will restore America's promise. We will put America first, and we will take back the nation that we all love.
世界中で1時間以上こんな演説できる人いますか？
The same home, and we salute the same great American flag. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in, we will never give up, we will never ever back down, and we will never ever 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 surrender.
Never ever surrender.
Together we will fight, 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 and we will win,
fight.
win, win. We're going to win, win, win.
トランプのワンフレーズ
will be the most important day in
ス
the
ピーチいい
history
ですよ
of
ね。
our country. And together we will make America powerful again.
Powerful again.
We will make
America
America wealthy
again.
We will make America healthy
again.
again.
Healthy again 出ました。
We will make
America
America strong
strong
again.
again. これもね、最後の
We will make
締めの言葉です。
Proud again.
Proud
We will
again.
make
America
safe again.
safe again. もう
And
演説の締めですよ。
we will
Make
America
America
great
great again. うわー サンキューニューヨーク、God bless。サンキュー、やっと終わりました。やっと終わりました。ちょっと仕事に行かないといけません、私。750万人ビュー。トランプのマディソンスクエアガーデンの演説、やっと終わりました。私、最初から最後まで全部聞きました。いやー、この熱気、感激ですね。はい、ちょっと仕事に行ってきます。皆さんご視聴ありがとうございました。